Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Great League Remix as the leagues have rotated, and we're going to see if we can get some wins with this team here. So we're going to be trying out the Jellicent paired with the Shadow Steelix and Shadow Ninetales. We have the Stumpus versus this Jellicent here. We're going to stay in for now. We can tank one move here, so we're just going to allow this first one to go through. Ends up being the discharge. Roughly did 30-40% right there. We're going to be able to get to this Surf here. This Surf will also do roughly the same. Looks like it's about 30-35%. And then we're going to be able to get to another Surf before they get to their move. Applying the pressure. Will they shield here? Yes, they do. So we do get a shield out of that situation. Our opponent here is going to be able to throw another move. We're going to decide to shield here. And then now it's just a matter of, will we be able to throw this Surf before they do? They are going to have to think about double shielding here if they want to win the lead. They decide to let it go, so that's good for us. And then they have the Mandibuzz in the back. We're going to switch out into our Ninetales immediately, and then they have the counter swap to their Pelipper. Pelipper is going to be able to throw the first Weather Ball. We can survive that one. We're going to be able to get to another move here. We're going to go for this Weather Ball. This Weather Ball here does get it into the low yellow. We're going to go for another Weather Ball here. This is definitely going to get a shield. And then our opponent here is going to overfarm just a little bit, and nice timing by my opponent, going for the move right before we get to another Weather Ball. And now we're just going to go back in with our Jellicent here. Basically, we're forcing them to use some energy. This energy here will come in handy because they're not going to be able to get to another move against our Steelix here. They switch out immediately into their Mandibuzz again. And let's see if we can win this game. One shield versus this Mandibuzz. First, we're going to go for this Psychic Fang debuff. And now we're just basically relying all of our damage from like the fast move. So we thought they were going to go for the dark move right there. Nice bait by my opponent, going for the Arrow Ace bait. They're going to go for a Dark Pulse here. So yeah, they did have the Dark Pulse. Unfortunately, it did get the shield out of us. We thought that they were going to shield there. No reason to bait, but it obviously was wrong. And now we're going to try our best to get to one more move. They are going to throw another Dark Pulse, getting us into the low red. And then we're going to go for this Psychic Fang right here. Psychic Fang, even though it is resisted, oh, not quite. So the Psychic Fang was not enough, double resisted. Unfortunately, they are able to take us out with that Arrow Ace. So GG's to our opponents. Close. We should have made a little bit of adjustment against the Mandibuzz, but it is what it is. Next game, let's see what we find. We got the Jellicent versus the Diggersby. Decent. Both of us are going to basically just do some chip damage. We can survive the first move. We're going to be able to get to this Surf to, I don't know, what is that, like 20%? Has to be 20%. It isn't 25% because it's not into the yellow yet. So it's definitely less than 25%. I'm going to go for another Surf here. This Surf here gets it into the red. So it looks like we do get to another Surf. So this Surf here is definitely going to get a shield, or is going to get the KO. So we do get the shield out of that situation. And now we're just going to allow them to take us out because we have potential to go for the Ninetales. Okay, they actually go for the bait. So that allows us to have the advantage right there. We're going to switch out immediately into our Steelix versus this Jellicent. The Jellicent goes for the Shadow Ball. We know we can survive one move no matter what. And then we're going to go for this Crunch. This Crunch here is going to do some big damage. We do get it into the red. Looking for a farm down? Yes, so we do get the farm down, so that's huge. And then our opponent here comes back in with their Diggersby. They do have energy, I believe. We're going to go for this Psychic Fang immediately. They decide to let it go, and looks like they are going to be able to throw up another Fire Punch. So we are going to shield here because we want to be able to potentially debuff whatever comes back in, but we did lag a little bit right there. Unfortunately, unable to get to that Psychic Fang. However, we should be okay still because we still have this Ninetales. We're going to allow the first one to go through. Or sorry, we're going to shield the first one as we know that they potentially could have the Shadow Ball. And now we're going to be able to get to this Weather Ball right here. This is definitely going to get a shield. We know that they have one shield to use, so we had to go for at least 2 Weather Balls. One nice slice goes through, not enough to take us out right there, and then we're going to be able to win this game with another Weather Ball from this Shadow Ninetales. So boom goes the Annihilate, and GG's to our opponent. Yeah, the Annihilate right there, basically we shielded the correct move. If they had baited right there, they should have been able to get to a Shadow Ball in the end game right there. So that was a good shield by us. Next game, let's see what we find. We got the Jellicent versus the Magnezone here. This is a core breaker between our Jellicent and Ninetales. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to do as much damage as possible with our Jellicent. We're going to go for the Surf here, potentially going to get the shield. Yes, we do get the shield, which is great. And then we're going to throw this next Surf on good timing. This next Surf here will get it. It won't KO. Okay, they decided to just go all in with this Magnezone. Magnezone is going to be able to get the Mirror Shot off to take us out, but that's okay. We have the Steelix for the situation. And then they're going to counter swap into the Pelipper. We have the Ninetales to counter swap as well. We know that this is Weather Ball. We can survive this one. And then this next move here is what we have to consider shielding. So they do get to another Weather Ball. In order for us to throw the move, we have to shield. So we're going to end up throwing the shield up. And then we're going to go for this Dazzling Gleam, taking out this Pelipper. We want this Pelipper out of the way. And then we most likely are going to see the Magnezone again. So Magnezone comes in, immediately throws a move. We're going to allow this one to go through. And then our opponent here has to face this Shadow Steelix. So Shadow Steelix here is able to resist all the moves. They go for the Mirror Shot. They do get the debuff, unfortunately, for us. So we're going to have to win this game debuffed with our attack. Another Mirror Shot goes through, but doesn't debuff, thankfully. And then we're going to overfarm just a little bit, throw the Crunch, take out the Magnezone, and now we have the Gligar lurking in the back. It's going to be interesting. We're going to have to go for this Psychic Fang here. One Psychic Fang goes through, debuffs their attack. And here, I think the only way we win this is if we call a bait. So we're just going to let this go. Oh, they do go for the Arrow Ace. This gives us a chance to win the game, I believe. We're going to go for another Psychic Fang here to debuff their attack again. And all we have to do now is one shield and get to another Psychic Fang, because they are double debuffed, basically making our attacks close to super effective at this point. All right, we're going to go for another Psychic Fang. Will this take it out? Yes, it will. So GG's to our opponent, able to basically win that game with the only win condition being that our opponent went for the bait right there. So nice play. Next game, let's see what we find. We got the Jellicent versus the Chestnut here. Not necessarily the best situation for the Jellicent Steelix combination. It's a nice core break. So we're just going to farm out to a potential Shadow Ball. We're going to throw up a shield here. Ends up being the Frenzy Plant. Makes sense. And then we're going to throw this Surf bait, trying to get a shield back. Okay, we do get the shield back, which is great. And let's see if we're going to be able to get to the Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball gets reached, but before that, they are able to get to a Frenzy Plant. This Frenzy Plant does take out the Jellicent, unfortunately. So that was tough. Here, they're going to be able to get to a move here. We're going to have to let this go. We're going to survive any move. One Frenzy Plant does take out this Ninetales into the low red, unfortunately. We go for the Weather Ball, we get the second shield, and then we're going to switch out immediately. At this point, we're looking for the farm down, I guess. We're going to shield here, hoping that they do switch out. They go for another Frenzy Plant, interesting enough. Ooh, and that is, unfortunately, the worst, not the worst, but one of the worst things we could see in the back, because we're not going to be able to beat this. We have all of our charge moves resisted. They're going to be able to get to a blast right there. That Incineroar ended up destroying our backline right there, especially against the Steelix. So we're not going to be able to win this. One Weather Ball still doesn't take out this Incineroar because they do resist it, and that is going to be GG's, unfortunately. So well played by my opponent. Interesting team, the Chestnut with the Incineroar kind of protecting each other. Unfortunately, we never saw what was in the back, so I'm anticipating some kind of water type, but interesting team. Next game, let's see what we find. We got the Jellicent here versus the Galvantula. Okay, not necessarily the best situation. We're going to switch on immediately into our Ninetales here. At least we get to this move before they can fire off a move, so this is going to get some big damage, or potentially a shield. So there is the shield right there. And then here, we're just going to call the bait and assume they're going to go for the lunge. They do go for the lunge, and that allows us to have the shield advantage going to the back line here. So they have another electric type in the back, ends up being the Electrode. Electrode here, it's looking like their general safe swap. So we want to keep the Steelix for these electric types, but you can see here we took out this Electrode to the low red, even though we were debuffed. So we're going to come back in with our Steelix here to tank all these moves. Potentially they could have foul play, but oh, they actually throw these Thunderbolts, so they don't have any neutral moves. So we are able to resist that, and they reveal that they have the Gligar in the back. So they were triple weak to this Steelix, sort of. And then we know the play here is we're going to have to shield pretty much everything from this Gligar if they build up to a potential dig. And then we're just going to keep on throwing these Psychic Fangs, doing some good neutral damage, but also debuffing their attack and allowing our fast move Dragon Tails doing significant damage. So you can see right here, they are really low. We're going to have to just shield this up. Most likely going to be the dig. There it is. There's the dig. And then we're going to look to get the farm down. Because we did farm down, we did have energy, and they're going to be able to quit since they still have that electric type. So GG's to our opponent. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.